When it comes to ruling humanity, thing is, the easiest way to rule humanity is through their freedom. Now, in order to rule a mass of people or any other race, first of all you must reverse the truth. Because if you teach people anything else than the truth and have them accept that as normal, they don't realize that freedom is technically a perfect synonym to slavery. Because in this society you are free to do literally everything. But are you really? When it comes to thinking about the youth and you, why not, as an individual, you are free to do literally everything, means that you are technically free to do all the suicidal things. Drink yourself till you die, commit suicide, live life as recklessly as possible, because everything is insured for you, right? So life means a lot of things. Freedom has been, well, let's say, defined by many previous societies, and one of the general definitions would be that given to it by the Greeks, right? The capacity and, well, let's call it the capacity or ability of anyone to simply act in whatever way, shape or form they want, so long as they don't become to the detriment of other people, right? But if all these suicidal norms, they actually become norms, right? You're not gonna bother anyone else, right? It's no longer something bad if, you're creating entourages and, your child is kind of sucked into one of those and, people would have your child's, commit to suicidal things or, pick up drugs or something like that. There's nothing bad in this anymore, right? Because, well, the freedom to be who you want, right? This is basically a norm now. Everyone wants to be free, right? You were born to be free. But don't forget that in this society, your purpose is to simply be a slave. That's what it means to be free, right? You enjoy all these so-called freedoms just because you're a battery. Society needs you. It needs you to feel that you are free. But don't forget that a feeling is just a sensation. You don't know if it's actually true. When you were ignorant, you wouldn't have any idea about things. You just went along with the crowd. As you woke up, most likely you started realizing that certain things were beyond your awareness because your awareness was way too low, right? After all that society is doing is numbing people down, because if you're not numbed down enough, you can't enjoy your freedom, right? If you're not ignorant enough, well, you will start feeling the pains of people around, right? Because ignorance will always be to the detriment of others. And the more you wake up, you will start realizing how much pain and how much suffering you've been creating around, and probably how much pain you have been creating in your own body. Because the first aspect of freedom is to deny your own body, right? If your body is feeling pain, no, it's all in your head. It's gonna go away. Just take a pill, right? We don't have a huge industry to create pills for nothing, right? So the idea of freedom is basically in a society of control. Like, we are a society of free people, right? But why is there control everywhere? Like, even your phone controls you, right? Even your phone controls each and every one of your desires, right? Because a desire means a lack of something. Oh, a lack of something. Society functions based on that. It keeps you with the least amount of payments, and then it constantly, shows all the materialistic things you most likely don't even need, but for some reason you want to have, right? Because you're a free person. After all, the more you buy, you're more of a slave, because the more you have, you're gonna have to use those. You buy yourself a machine, you wouldn't want to accept keeping it, right? You have to enslave yourself to using it, right? You buy yourself a phone, you must make use of it after all, right? You buy yourself a camera that probably you don't even need, well, you have to use it, right? You buy yourself so many things you don't need because you are free, right? The more physical things you have, well, that kind of makes you a slave of material things, right? But it doesn't matter, you're free anyways, right? Who the fuck cares that you're a slave to things? You're just free, right? Who the fuck cares that you're a slave of your own mind? You're just free to think everything, right? who the heck cares that you're a slave of society? You are free to think everything you can, right? And the more you create deranged such people, the point is you want to definitely keep those alive. You want to keep reinforcing those. How about adding some rules, right, that support such people? Because obviously you have to create new sensations of freedom, and you want everyone to not be left out, right? You want everyone to present all their pains, but not just present them, paint them to others as the new way of life, right? If you are not pained, well, there is something wrong with you, right? You weren't born to simply be happy and free, right? You are born to simply suffer, right? You are free to suffer, but wait, suffering isn't a thing of slavery, because slavery always induces suffering, right? Freedom is supposed to, bring happiness, right? But in this society, this freedom that we all have is bringing suffering. How very peculiar. All this being said, you are appreciated. Take care of yourselves. Ferenc Bor signing out.